Hi guys, welcome to the Retro Pally Guide Part 5. This is the last part, and this will complete the beginner series. Now, we left off with a trinket, but we'll go back to that. Seal of Truth, Seal of Righteousness, you already know that. We're gonna look at Seal of Justice now. Now, Seal of Justice is the old Judgment of Justice put together in a seal. What it does is your melee attacks limit the run speed of the target for 5 seconds and deal additional 155 additional holy damage. So that does about half the damage of righteousness, more or less, and it will apply a debuff on the target you hit that will not allow it to run any faster than normal movement speed. It has no diminishing returns, and it is quite nice when you're fighting Resto Druids so they can't run away and travel for. So now Seal of Insight, we're going to take a look at this and hit the bunny, see how much it gives us. Sealed, Seal of Wisdom, Seal of Light combined, and it gives us 170 mana and 1000 health per hit. Now notice it says a chance to, so that doesn't mean it's going to proc every time. So now we're going to take a look at Hand of Sacrifice, and is at a 1.6 minute cooldown with 30 yard range and 210 mana. It's a 1.6 cooldown. It used to be a 2 minute before you expected to axe a sacrifice, which also reduced the mana cost of the spell. What this does is you put it on a part of your raid member, and it transfers 30% of their damage to you. It lasts 12 seconds, and you cannot transfer more than 100% of your maximum health. Or, it says their maximum health. It used to be yours, but now it's theirs. So they have 25k health, you can't transfer over 25k damage, which is almost impossible to do, especially in PvP. It is pretty impossible. So basically, it's a 30% damage reduction placed on you. Now, this is a great ability, and I'll talk with you more about that intermediate ret. Now, Turn Evil. Now, this costs 400 mana, has an 8-second cooldown, 20 yard range, and it's an instant cast because of our glyph. I'll show you the glyph right now. So you reduce the cast time of your Turn Evil by 100% and increases the cooldown by 8 seconds. It has no cooldown to begin with, so it makes it an 8-second cooldown. Now, this is a great spell because you can. What it does is it fears undead and demons for up to a while, actually, and it has a 10-second PvP duration. Great stuff. Hand of Salvation, that's a threat reducer. There's our 2 taunts. Hand of Reckoning is a great one. In case your judgment's on cooldown, you can use this to stop people from drinking and keep them in combat. It does not stop them from band-aiding, though. Low mana cost. Lay on Hands is pretty nice. It's same thing as used to be. Still gives you forbearance, grants you 100% of your health, can crit a lot, and it gives you about 1500 mana. Redemption, same spell, costs a lot of mana. Revives them with 35% health and mana. Now we're gonna look at Blessing of Might. Blessing of Might is different now. It's Blessing of Wisdom and Blessing of Might put together. It places a blessing on a friendly target, increasing their attack power by 10%. Notice it's 10% now, not a number amount, and restoring 92 mana every 5 seconds for an hour. Now this is a great spell. It no longer applies on classes only. It now goes to raid wide. Lasts 60 minutes now. Great stuff. And I love the 92 mana per 5 seconds it gives added on to the attack power. Because if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're too low to judge, just 5 seconds, bam, you get 92 mana. Instead of waiting on your Divine Plea like you used to have to do. Now, Blessing of Kings is a lot different now. Increases their strength, agility, stamina, intellect by 5%, and increases all magical resistances by 65. Does not stack with your auras. It does not stack with your auras, and it does not stack with Mark of the Wild. Now, Righteous Fury. This is a great talent, or great spell. It does not cost any mana. It used to, but now it does not. It's just a threat increase, and it is a great buffer for your spells and abilities. Like if you want to do your Angel Wings, pop Divine Plea, Angel Wings. Great buffer so it does not get dispelled easily or spell stealed by a mage. Because your Angel Wings spell stealed by a mage is really bad news. And if you want to further protect it, and you don't need your Blessing of Freedom, you can pop that if you want. Or your Hand of Freedom. I'm an old school pally. And there's my Sindori orb that I got from Magister Terrence. Turns me to Blood Elf. So now we're going to go to the Stormwind dummies, and before we do that, we're going to take a look at the auras. And Devotion Aura. It does the same thing, gives 1150 armor, just like it always has. And we're going to take a look at that, what kind of bonus it actually gives us. There it says armor is 15,706, and with devotion it is 16,856. Reduces physical damage reduction taken by 52.53. That's a good bit. And take it off, and let's put on ret. Now ret aura is the same thing it used to do, except for ret pallies it hits a lot lower. 177 damage is not nearly as much as what it used to hit. This is a good spell for using against rogues and feral druids in cat form, but nothing else. Like a fast-hitting two-hander class would be good. Honestly, I wouldn't even use it against a shaman. If we're fighting a shaman, I would use a resistance aura. Retribution is pretty much pointless now. Devotion aura I would probably use against hard-hitting, heavily melee classes like warriors. Concentration aura, I get that confused sometimes. All party and raid members within 40 yards lose 35% less casting or channeling time while damaged, or when damaged, I'm sorry. Same thing as it used to be. Now we're going to take a look at resistance aura. This is a great spell. What it does is it gives you 130% or 130 additional fire, frost, and shatter resistance to all your raid and party members. This is great. This is all the auras we used to have that gave you resistance just shoved together in one. See all my stats right there? For resistance, I love this aura. This is the main aura you're going to be wanting to roll with. If you're in a battleground or if you're world PvPing, you're going to always want to keep that aura on instead of your ret aura, which most ret pallies used to roll with. Crusader aura, still the same. Everybody knows what that does. 20% extra mounted speed for you and your raid. Now we're going to look at the general spells. Diplomacy, Rat's big gain, increased by 10%. Every man for himself. They changed this, and it really made me mad when they did this. 3-minute cooldown instead of a 2-minute cooldown. And all the other trinkets are still a 2-minute cooldown. Mace spec, your expertise is increased by 3 with maces. There's your mastery. Plate specialization is awesome. It says your primary attribute by 5%, or increases it by 5% when you're wearing plate armor in all slots. If you're holy, you gain intellect. Prot, you gain stamina, and if you're ret, you gain strength. So 5% in strength if you have all plate, which you should have. Ret pallies, please don't wear mail unless you absolutely have to. Unless you got like a great epic mail piece and a really crappy blue piece. Sword spec and the human spirit, and there's our weapon skills. Yeah, it made me mad when they changed the cooldown of every man for himself to 3 minutes. I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous. Humans are now at more of a disadvantage in arenas because we now have a higher cooldown on our trinket, which means we have more opportunities to get killed. Because people in arenas base their killing attempts, their attempts to gain a kill, on the cooldown of your trinket. And if you have a 3-minute, you're going to have more opportunity. I'm going to throw on red aura for no particular reason. It's because I like the shiny blue mace. Now we're going to take a look at Zealotry. It's the last spell, only one we haven't went over. And I'm going to show you exactly what it does and how useful it can be and how useful it can be. Now the thing is, there's a 2-minute cooldown, I am sorry. And it requires 3 holy power to use, which is one of the reasons why it's not very favorable. If it costs no holy power, that would be a different thing. That would make this spell freaking awesome. But basically, if you Satyr Strike with Zealotry up, you gain 3 holy power, which means you can do an instant Word of Glory or Templar's Verdict fully charged with 3 holy power. Mastery right there. I'm going to use it real quick. Bam, AK. That's only because of my berserking up. It usually hits 7. Now I'm going to use my Zealotry, and then I'm going to pop my Crusader Strike. 3 holy power from that. Instant Templar's Verdict. Another one, an instant Word of Glory. And then another one, got 3 more holy power. Another Templar's Verdict. and then show up my scrolling battle text, and then an instant word of glory. And that's basically what it does. But as you can see, it only gives you an opportunity to use it about 4 times. More haste you get, the more opportunity you're going to get, because it lowers the cooldown of your Crusader Strike. That's why it's important for Ret Paladins to get haste. But it's kind of hard, because no Ret Paladin got haste before, like I told you in the first one. But it's really important the expansion comes out that you guys try and gear for haste. Also, my exorcism, you just saw it can crit. The tick on it can actually crit. I'll probably crit again, watch. Yep, there it goes. Bam. 374, 374. It's a really nice glyph. You guys, like I said, it's almost a necessity. Consecration. Yeah, it's a crap spell. And this pretty much covers almost all the spells. Basic all of them, actually. Oh yeah, and I gotta talk about the spells they took out. They took out Sacred Shield. That was the absorb bubble that you could put on yourself, and it lasted 30 seconds. They took out DI. I don't really mind Sacred Shield because it would make us overpowered. Actually, I would assume it was a nice spell, but it was more for holy, even though it was really nice for rets too. But DI is one thing that I'm upset about. There was no reason to take DI out. DI is Divine Intervention. It was the bubble that you could place on a raider party member that would sacrifice yourself to make them invulnerable for 2 minutes, dropping them out of combat, saving countless raids, countless money and repair bills. There was just seriously no reason to take that spell out. I'm pretty bummed about that. I love that spell. It was so fun. And it was absolutely no balancing issues about that spell whatsoever either. I really don't know why they took that spell out. Well, that concludes Beginner Ret, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned plenty from my tutorials. Now I'm going to be doing Intermediate Ret next, and it's probably going to consist of maybe 4 parts. Maybe, I haven't recorded it yet, so I really don't know. And what that will be about is it'll be about all your spells and how to utilize them against certain classes in PvP. So we're going to find out. I'm going to basically record myself dueling a bunch of people, almost every class, try and get a bunch of specs in as well. And I'll show you what I do, how I do it, and when I do it. And you should apply that as well. Because dueling, in my opinion, is the basis of PvP. If you want to get good at PvP, you should start dueling a lot of people you see. Because once you know the classes, and once you know their strengths and weaknesses versus you, you're going to realize what they can do to you in arena with another partner, and how their 2 weaknesses maybe make a strength for you, or their 2 strengths maybe make a really something you really need to watch out for in arena. So take what I taught you and go duel a bunch of people, and then you'll excel. Now, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in an Intermediate Ret.